Hello, YouTube. It's just amazing our government, the resources and the money that they waste. We just had the 2010 census, and yesterday a census worker came to our house and for 15 minutes knocked on the door. They actually even tried to open the door, rattling the doorknob. When's a good time? I should have had my camera. I wish I kind of had to open that up on that. But in any case, after 15 minutes, they dropped off a little form saying that I needed to contact the census department. And it kind of baffles me because me and my wife actually did the required information for the census. You know, it asks you all this other optional stuff, which they don't try to tell you is optional. But quite honestly, it's none of their business. They say it's, oh, what we do our resources. Yeah, they make all the statistics for senators, congressmen, and all this off of the actual population. I do get that. So we complied. We did the amount of people living in the house, and we did the gender. You know, that's all that's actually required for a U.S. citizen to do, or anybody in that matter in a census. So they come back, knocking on the door for 15 minutes, and leave that form. So I actually decided to go ahead and call them today. Kind of aggravated because of how they acted. Amazed it actually didn't set off my burglar alarm. I wish it kind of had, because it would have been kind of funny having the police come here and having the census person possibly get arrested. But I called, and they actually said that they needed to get back in touch with us because we had filled out the census form incorrectly. And I was like, okay, how do we do that? She's like, you didn't answer any of the other questions. You did do the population, how many's in the house, and I was like, okay, so that's all that's required of me. So how did I do it incorrectly? She's like, you need to fill all this other stuff out. I need to do an interview with you. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. I don't agree with that. And she's like, okay, I'm going to mark you down for refusing to comply. So I asked her, I was like, am I breaking any kind of law? She says, no, you're not. To sum that all up, she says, no, you're not breaking any law. So I said, well, since I'm not breaking any law, how did I fill the form out incorrectly? I look at it this way: if all this other information is optional and I answer what is required, how did I fill the form out incorrectly? You got to ask yourselves, our government is spending money to send these idiots back out to our house when in fact they could be spending the money on much more needed things, such as anything compared to the census. They get the numbers of the people that are living here and the gender. That's all they need. So why do they need to know how am I getting my money and all this? The government already knows. I mean, what are you doing? So I have to ask the government a question. Oh, big brother, where art thou? I mean, come on now. This is ridiculous. I'm so tired of all this crap. And I know I might get heckled for this video. I really don't care. Give up your rights, and you're going to never get them back. You know, we keep submitting all this tyranny, and we keep submitting to all this crap. What's going to be left at the end? I mean, we're going to ask ourselves, how did it all happen? Well, you're going to have only one person to blame if you and I don't correct it. You can only blame yourself. You know, in the census, they're not required to ask all these other questions. But, you know, keep giving up your freedoms, keep giving up your liberties, and it won't matter anymore. The game will be over. You know, so I just don't understand what is going on. And I really want to sum it up to really say, big brother, you suck.